Get shout. Are you ready to talk?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to talk.
Come on in.
Well, okay, let's talk.
Just settle down. We're gonna talk with you. Won't talk with you now. Going around.
Let's talk.
Here on the Brownskin Chit Chat. Brownskin Chit
Let's talk.
Show.
Shout.
Hey! Hey, welcome to the Brownskin Chit Chat Show podcast. I am one of your hosts, Monique Brown.
Shalita Williams.
And I am Kitty. Hey.
Hey, y'all. So we just thought we would start a podcast. I am so excited. Cheers to us, ladies.
Yes,
This is
ma'am.
our first one. Cheers. There may or may not be wine on future episodes. We don't know. But this is our first podcast, and we're super excited to be here with all of you today. Just a little brief introduction. We're all good girlfriends, and we have been friends for many, many years. And the idea is that we really talk a lot about, current events, just being a Black woman in this world, parenting, all of the things that are happening. And so we thought we would bring you along for the journey. So, welcome to our journey.
Welcome.
All right, so just to give a little backstory about each of ourselves, and then we're going to jump feet forward into our topic today, which I think all of us can relate to in some way. But I'll just start myself. I'm a program manager working in IT space for many, many years. I am a mom, a wife, sister, friend, all of those things. I am over 50. And we are at a point in our lives where we want to bring in goodness and just new adventures.
Yes.
And so that's where we are.
Yes.
So that's a little bit about myself.
Adventures.
Go for it.
Well, I'm Casey. I work in healthcare. What else? I got 2 kids, 2 boys. They're grown. I just like to talk, so we're going to talk, y'all. We gonna talk about some stuff. I'm gonna shut up right now because I got a lot to say.
Okay. Shalita, I am over 52. 50 club. I'm a manager for a workers' comp company, and so I'm just excited about this opportunity, excited about sharing this with my friends over here, and excited about just talking and getting to know each other, and you all too. So let's get started.
Let's get started. So today's topic is one that we've sorted through a bunch of different topics, but we landed on today was really what is something you would tell your younger self, right? So any words of wisdom, anything you would say to your younger self, what would you tell her? What would you tell her?
Oh, that's a good question. Anyone want to start this topic off?
You start. You talking?
Okay.
You start.
My younger self. Well, I guess you would have to know a little bit about my younger self. I am a child of 2. I have an older brother, and it's me and him. Deuces. My parents have since passed, but we grew up pretty much middle class, I guess you could say, in the Bay Area. And, we grew up pretty normal, pretty standard. I didn't get anything that I didn't want or have or need or anything like that. So I didn't feel like as a child I missed out on a lot of stuff. Today, in growing up and kind of living the world and experience life and traveling and stuff like that, for me, I would tell my younger self to probably invest more. So that later on I'm not struggling
Yes.
as in the elder years, as they say. My parents always emphasize savings. Like, make sure you have a savings, make sure you have money everywhere, everything, make sure. And of course I was ready to spend, buy, travel, do whatever I need to do. And I think as African Americans, we talk about savings, but not necessarily investing,
So true.
which is going to take you over to the next hump,
So
and
true.
we're always talking about working for somebody else, but we're never taught to invest. So I think my younger self, when I'm looking at a financial situation, would be just about investing in stuff
Mhm.
so that I can have multiple streams of income or
Yes.
multiple streams of money coming in. And I think that's what I'm kind of missing at 50 right now, that I would kind of tell my younger self it's important to save, but it's also important to invest in stuff.
So true.
what about
Yeah,
you?
when you talk to your younger self,
Girl.
tell her to talk to her
Girl,
friend Monique
girl.
and tell her the same thing.
Okay,
Okay.
'cause,
Yes.
that's how I feel. Like
That
I feel
is
like I
so
would be in a
true.
better situation.
It's so true.
Financially, if I had invested and had other things, or learn how to do that, and I don't know how to do that. My parents didn't know much about the market. They didn't talk about the market. It was just about saving, you know.
Mhm.
And so
Which
save.
is actually a rarity too. Just to
What,
even
about
talk about savings,
yeah.
you know,
Save.
because some of us, you know, it was hard to get it,
It was
Right.
and
hard
so
to
when
get
you
it.
got it, you spent
Right,
it.
you spent it because I want to enjoy life.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And again, back in the day, you know, people, did they really say, no, you put it on layaway?
You
Remember
put-
layaway?
Girl.
My mama put it on layaway.
On
My mama was
layaway.
an
Everything came on layaway, yes.
shopper, and I was not in her
Montgomery
finances.
Ward's,
But
yes.
I do
Really
know
get
what she
that.
did when she balanced her book. When people used to balance their checkbook and stuff
Talk
like that,
about
she used to actually carry over the change.
it. Mm.
And so that made sense. I mean, at the time, I was like, you leave the change over, and it makes sense because that change adds up, right?
Right.
So there's your
Right.
savings, right?
Right.
Savings.
So, I mean,
It's the auto stuff that we do today,
Yes.
where you like, okay, I'm gonna take this money out of my
Mhm.
paycheck. I'm not gonna even see it,
mhm.
and I'm gonna put it in this, savings account, and then that money is just sitting there,
Right.
and I don't even see it. And it's that same,
It's
that
that.
same
Yeah.
principle.
So it's a
Yeah.
carryover method.
It's the
Yeah.
carryover. Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's what I would say.
I
to
love
my
that.
younger self. So
I love that.
You ladies,
I
love that.
ladies.
I love that. What I would tell my younger self is to relax
Mm.
and stop trying to be in control
Mm.
of so many things.
Yes.
You know, I spent so much of my younger years trying to control everything, make sure this person was doing this, whether it was my stuff or people around me, you know? And so with that control came anxiety.
Mm.
And I was constantly nervous and afraid that, oh, what if this happens? And what if that happens? And so I spent so much of my years. It was like it would help me, push me, and motivate me to go to college and get a degree and all those things. Because what if
Right,
something
right,
happened?
right.
But it was not sustainable.
Right.
And it's just not a way to live. And
Right.
so what I found in my more senior years is that I'm undoing that. I'm learning how to
Yes,
Mhm.
let
ma'am.
go and just let people be who they are,
Mhm.
meet people where they are,
That part.
show up for them where they are, and where they can't come to me, then I have to leave them where they are.
Yes, ma'am.
And as
Did that take you
opposed
50 years to get
girl,
to that?
50 years, honey.
Did that
Listen,
take you 50 years to
listen,
get to
and
that?
I'm still
Okay,
learning it
I'm
today.
about to
Today's a
say.
good day, okay? Because it's a practice. It's a
How do
practice.
you feel like you've overcome it a little bit? I know you're still going through the
It's a
practice.
practice.
But to help people out on how you got through yours, how did you overcome or
So what do
Well,
you
okay,
do?
there's a
Yes,
couple
yes,
things.
thank
So
you.
and we'll talk about this maybe on another episode of this. Like and subscribe, please. Please. But so there's a book that I'm reading. It's called Let Them. It's by Mel Robbins. She's amazing. But it's the same concept. So I'm learning and I'm getting, ideas from her book
Mhm.
on how to do that. The other thing is that I realized that the only person I can influence and control
Mhm.
is me.
Mhm.
And that goes
Facts.
with not just my actions, but what I think, what I say, and how I respond to it.
That
Right?
part.
And that, I think that piece, Casey's
Mhm.
like we just said, that part, right?
Yeah.
That piece of how I respond to
Right.
it is what I'm learning. So
Mm.
Big.
what I'm learning is when I see people show up as their true authentic self and I go, oh, that's you.
Right.
That's like who you are.
Right.
So let me, because that's the part of the let them theory. So I let you do what you're going to do. And then I let me react and do what I'm going to do, what's best for me. So I'm learning how to release people of the expectations that I have placed on them.
That's good.
Because some of those are just my expectations.
Right.
They're not their stuff.
Yep.
It's my stuff,
That's
right? It's the stuff that, I was saying this to one of my girlfriends. It's like the potential of someone.
Mm.
And so I would take that potential and I would try and control them to meet that potential. And this other person is like, that is not who I am.
Right.
And so they would show up not who they are, not
you
meeting
want
my
it.
potential. And then I'm sitting like, well, what's wrong with you? It
And you
ain't
sit
them.
up there mad and
I'm mad
angry
at you.
and
And I'm like,
frustrated
it ain't them, it's you.
You're right.
So I really would learn how to and I'm learning how to let go. And that goes across the board. That is in my career. That is in parenting. That is in marriage. That's all of those things. I'm learning how to release people of that and release myself of the attempt to control them. Yeah.
Your younger
That's
self is gonna be
huge.
educated, girl.
She gonna get it together.
That's huge.
Educated, girl.
She gonna stop crying all them tears.
Right?
Crying over here, girl.
Casey, yes.
What
What
would
you
I
got?
tell my younger self? I would tell my younger self is to be a rebel. Be the rebel that you are. I never fit in. I always seemed like different than everyone else. It seemed like everybody got it. And I'm like, I'm not getting it. I don't understand. And I have questions. I would tell my younger self, ask the questions, put the pressure. Put the pressure on people. Be the disruptor. It's okay to be a disruptor. Young women, be disruptors.
That's right.
And don't let nobody tell you, oh, you're weird or you're, odd or whatever. Damn it, be weird, be odd, be different.
Because she is fabulous. Okay.
Yes.
And she is in her true self.
Okay.
She is shining like a diamond.
It's okay to
Straighten your
be
frown.
okay. It's okay to be different. It's okay to be odd. It's okay not to fit in. It's okay to not, want to be with everybody in the crowd and stuff like that, because sometimes, younger people that are shy is for a reason. Because I was that shy child. I didn't want to go up there and say your Easter speech in church. I don't want to see no Easter speech in church. I don't even like you people. It's okay to be different. It's okay. Parents, your children are like, no. Just leave them alone. Let them know it's for a reason. Shyness is for a reason. Maybe they can't explain it to you. But it's for a reason. Trust me. It was things I didn't want to do because I wasn't comfortable. You have to breathe life or pour into your children. And if your children aren't being poured into, they may see the world different.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard on that one too, though, because how do you, both of my children are kind of out there and they put themselves forward, so I'm very proud of them for that. But how do you encourage somebody like yourself that is shy and that you want to, you see more in them what they see in themselves, but you want to make sure that they have the confidence that they need to go out there. I don't know if your parents were like, go ahead and go out there because they want to see you shine, but you're saying don't do that.
Push them.
I'm saying don't push them. Let them go at their own pace.
Okay.
Because sometimes if you hurry along something, that child may have questions. They may need to know more in depth about why they're doing these things that they're doing.
Yeah.
They may not catch on as fast as other kids, and maybe they want to go this way. They don't want to go that way.
Right? I think it's the dialogue because we are all 70s babies. I don't know about you, but like my parenting, like we were not really encouraged to ask questions of what we were doing or any of that. And I think our parenting style is that we do have dialogue with our children. So if, they are at a point where they're like, hey, I don't really want to do that. That's not like we need to have a discussion. Like, let's talk about it. Like, why are you uncomfortable doing that? And, I just had the situation with my son where he had to play in a concert and he was like about 4 or 5 days before the concert, he's like, I hate the cello. I don't want to play the cello. And I said, okay, well, this is what you signed up for. We finish what we start.
That's right.
So let's talk about it. And after talking to him some more, what I found out is really it wasn't he hate the cello.
Right.
He was nervous.
Yeah.
And he was afraid. And I said,
exactly.
oh, okay. I said, but you've done hard things in front of people before. And I had to remind him, remember when you played football and you scored the touchdown?
Yes.
Remember how many people was in that stand?
Yeah.
Like, you remember, and his whole face just lit up.
Right.
So I think the difference is that we have to have that conversation,
Right.
which we didn't have that conversation.
Right.
It wasn't like, well, tell me your feelings.
Right.
Your
Right.
feelings, what I tell you your feelings
Right.
are, you know. So it was just different, you know. But I love the fact of what you're saying, because we, especially raising children that are Black and brown skin, we have to be aware. They have to be aware of the world and being a disruptor in certain situations, right? Like, I don't expect you. I expect you to be respectful.
Correct.
But I do expect you to ask questions.
Ask questions.
Ask the questions. Don't just go on it.
Ask questions. Let them be individuals. Let them be the disruptor. Sometimes it's needed. I think it's needed.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know, if everybody's going with the flow, I hate that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with the flow. I'm not going with the flow.
Right.
I'm gonna go over here, and I have questions for you.
That's right.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's okay to be, you know, that person. And I see people, you know, you have like meetings at work, and you got that person that always got the questions.
But that's all right, because
I see
questions
the world
get you answers,
right, and I see the world different, and I see a big picture. You know, sometimes people just see the immediate right now need.
Yes.
And so growing up,
So true.
you know, as a child, I would tell myself, my younger self, it's okay to apply pressure. It's okay to ask the questions.
That's
it's not my fault that they don't have the answer.
Right.
You know, you're not odd, you're not weird.
That's right.
Make them think.
Yep. That's what I try to tell my high schooler, you know, if the teacher's not teaching you, it's their job to teach you. Ask questions.
Yes.
Ask for more information. Everybody doesn't learn the same. Everybody doesn't move the same.
Exactly.
And you have to do what's best for you and what's best for you. And at the same time, other people may have the same types of questions that they're just too shy to ask or not even asking.
Yes.
So I'm like, hey, you know.
Right.
So I want to take back to investing, because I do feel like that is so key. And especially in this economy and this world that we live in is very different than the world that we live in when we were kids, you know, that when we were coming up. And I can remember my dad showing me penny stocks in the newspaper.
Yes.
If y'all don't know what a newspaper is, y'all young people, go look it up. But he would show us the penny stocks in the newspaper, and he would say, okay, this is how you do this and that. And so I had the idea of investing and the concept of investing.
But you never did it?
But I never, I did it.
Oh, you did it? Okay.
No, I never did
it.
I never did it. And I think it's one thing to talk it, but then it's also a different thing. Like, we have to bring our children along for the journey. They not only have to see us walk the walk and talk the talk, but like, they need to come along for the journey, because we are building legacy, right? Not even for them, for their children, their children. You know, we're standing on the shoulders of giants that came before us. So I love the idea of investing and bringing our children along for the journey. How would you do that?
How would I do it? Since I'm still learning about it, like, I have investment accounts, like I have some of the E-Trades and stuff like that, and we've taken courses on how to invest or whatever. And I forgot Cassandra, right? Cassandra, yes,
Dr. Stilettos.
Yes, hey, such a great community there. And one of her courses was, if you shop there, if you go to Chevron every day, invest in Chevron. If you go to Costco every day, invest in Costco. And so that was a different thought process to me. It was like, well, yeah, if you're already investing, you're already putting money into it to get some money back out. So I think it's a still learning journey. I want to know more, but it's a fear factor. You know what I mean? So, because you're so far behind on stuff, it seems like
You know what though? But here's the thing. Like, here's what, and I'm so glad you said that, because I hear Cassandra's voice, and she used to say, "Scared money don't make money." Okay,
hello.
That was
that.
I don't know where she got that quote, but I quote you when you say that, right? So, scared money don't make money, and I think that it's all a risk, and it's a calculated risk. And I'm so glad you said that, because you don't have no problem going to the casino or going to play bingo or putting money on the like, let's just call a spade a spade. Like, you don't have a problem doing that, right? Even if it's like, okay, I'm just gonna put $20 in this machine. You're okay with walking away from that $20.
Right.
What if you take that same $20 and you invest it? You might get something, you might not, but you'll never know if you don't start. And I think that I've had conversations with my children about the importance of investing.
Mhm.
Now I have to take the initiative. It's like, okay, we have to set up accounts and we have to do this thing. And like, why do we do this?
Yeah.
Why is it important?
Because it's good for them to visually see it too. Like if you're investing,
Yes.
this is what you have. Look where you started from. This is where, like in a few years, I remember bonds and stuff were
Yes.
good. I think I had one from school, $50. It was burning my pocket. It ain't worth nothing until the years pass by. And I was like, when can I spend that? When can I spend $50? Okay.
Yes.
And so I was really ready to spend that little $50 back in the day from just a bond, and it didn't even increase by what some of these other things would increase. And so,
but that's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
That's how you learn.
And so again, because a lot of us are visual, I'm visual. I needed to show and see where the investment is coming from, and be able to, experience life freely, like
learn how to grow your money.
Exactly.
Your money for you.
Yes.
Yes.
Make your money work for you.
Yes.
Right. Make your money work, for you, and build that nest egg. And I also feel like there's a concept of like having this lack or poverty mindset,
Right.
Especially as African Americans. Some of us did not grow up seeing people in front of us that were able to obtain those things, or they were able to obtain a house or these things, but they maybe didn't do it the proper way, or they obtained it but then they lost it or whatever, right? And so as a child, if it's never explained to you, you make up these things on your own, right? Like you kind of make up your own stories about how people may have gotten those things. I think it's important for us to instill and pour into our children. And when I say children, I don't mean like little kids. I mean like children like you 30, okay? And we still having this conversation.
Right.
I think that's constant pouring into them, like what you're capable of doing, right? What's capable. Like you have abundance.
Right.
You are the birthright of God. Like he came and said, I'm going to give you abundance, right? Not lack, not just enough, not get by, abundance. So I feel like sometimes we operate in this lack mindset, and our children see that as well, right?
They inherit it.
They inherit it, and they inherit what they see, right?
But I think that's for all of our talking to our younger selves or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the question even would be, if you were to talk to your older self, how would you move differently now? You're moving the way that you recommended, but how would you think your life would be different if you knew it back then?
It would be big time difference. The knowledge that I have today, the knowledge that I have right now.
Right.
Oh, honey, please. Yeah. I would do a lot of things different, especially with finances.
Okay.
Because
Facts.
that part. Because people aren't taught that.
Right.
And, I watch a lot of women that are unempowered, that are, working for themselves and starting businesses. Even right now, today, I watch and follow different women, and I'm like, man, they're investing, they're doing these things, they're moving, they're grooving, they're doing it, and because still right now, lifetime, I don't understand how they're doing it. Because I still have that mindset.
Right.
I'm not getting it again. I have questions.
Yes.
I have questions, but you see, and people share certain things,
Right. Correct.
and I get it. But I have questions. It's like, how do you do that?
Right.
How did you flip that, girl? You gotta show them. Well, how did you get that?
It's just like you want them on your arm traveling while you make it into
But you know what though? let's bring it back to us. Really,
Mhm.
that is one of the reasons why we wanted to do this podcast, right?
Yeah.
Because
Talk about it.
we want to talk about it. Like, if I could talk to that younger person,
Mhm.
I am talking to a younger person, right? Like, I'm talking to someone now that I'm hoping will listen and hear something that I say that may pivot and change the direction that they go. That will instill motivation, instill hope, and so, like, at the end of the day, we're all here to learn, and we're gonna bring y'all for the journey.
Right.
Okay.
That's
So
right.
we're gonna learn about all these different things, and we're gonna bring you along for the journey. And you know what? We're real.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We as real can get, baby. So some stuff we ain't gonna know. It's like, I don't know. We're gonna find that out.
We're gonna
We'll
find
get
some
back
people
to
to
you.
tell
You know,
us.
we'll get some people to bring.
Yeah.
We'll bring them on. We'll ask those questions. The questions that you all have, right?
Mhm.
And so that is another reason why we wanted to do this podcast, so that we could learn from each other. Because
right.
I would hate to have somebody go through the same things that I went through, and I could give the same knowledge to them, and it would change the total trajectory of their life.
And the future of their families and
Yes.
stuff
Right.
like that. Because you see, some people do well in life. They
Mhm.
just soar because they get the knowledge.
Right.
And some people don't, because they're not exposed. They're not invited to the rooms or to the tables.
Mhm.
They have no clue. And so they're out here working like Hebrews and they don't know what to do. And it's like, you're stressed out,
Right.
you know, and you don't know what's credit, what's what do you call, I didn't know what credit was. Like when you,
Right.
when you were younger, you get a credit card. I got money.
Mhm.
No.
See, I did, but I had 9 of them, and so
See?
then they tell you the more you have, and
The more debt.
the more debt, and the higher it is. You know, you don't
That
learn
part.
that. You just like, oh, they gave me
Yeah.
an American Express.
Right.
I'm
Listen,
good to
I
go,
remember
girl.
being,
I'm good to go.
I remember being in college, and I remember the American Express people would have a table at orientation.
It's almost like a setup.
It was not
It's
almost.
a-
It is a
it's
setup.
a setup.
It's a setup.
This is in college.
This is
They're
college.
like from
I'm
them damn
filling out.
tables, y'all.
This is in 1991. That's how old we are. Okay, so I'm filling out the form and I'm giving it back to them. And I remember, like, and because I'm 18, I could get my credit card. I ain't got to ask nobody, nothing.
Nobody.
I'll never forget. I called my mother. I said, "Mommy, I got a credit card." She said, "You got what?" Her whole head was like, and I couldn't see her because that wasn't FaceTime. But I could hear it through the phone, and her whole head was like, "You did what, Monique?" And I said, "I got a credit card." And I was like trying to figure out, like, why are you mad?
Right.
What's the problem? She said, "You ain't got a job, girl. How you
That-
go?"
You
that
ain't
part.
even
Pay
thinking
this
about
back.
how you
That
gonna
part.
pay it
I said,
back.
no, that's not, because I'm going to explain it to
Right.
her. Like, no, mommy, see, this what happened. Like, I filled out and then they gave me a card, and then I don't have to make the payment until, and I stopped. I said,
You get a job.
and she said, exactly. You ain't got a job, and how you going to pay that? I'm trying to keep you in contact. So it was like a setup.
Mhm.
You know, like you said, like you come up and like, okay, you got all these credit cards, but nobody explained
Right.
to you
And
how
American
to
Express
be.
was the top of the chain.
They
girl.
don't-
You had to pay that every month.
When you had
They
that,
paid off in
boy,
full every
was-
month.
They're
was
not teaching you
something.
about revolving credit.
Right.
Yes.
None of that.
Mm-mm.
It's like, here's your plastic.
Yes.
Go on.
Yes.
We'll see you in
And then
collections.
you find yourself in debt from
Yeah.
college, from all kinds
It's
of
just a
stuff.
spiral thing.
Yeah.
But what I'm here to say though is that you can stop it.
Mhm.
You can stop it. There is hope. You can make changes. Every day
It's all a
is a
journey.
new day,
It's a journey.
right? And so you make changes, you make adjustments. If you don't like, I used to say this staying all the time. I know somebody said it, but if you don't like where you are, move. You are
Mhm.
not a tree.
Mm.
Right? So if you don't like what you're doing, you don't like the way your life is, change it. You have the power to change it.
Right.
So yeah, what I would say to that younger Monique is that stop trying to control everything.
Yeah.
But if you said that to her and you grew up,
Mhm.
you would be less stressed, right?
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Less trying to
Yeah.
have everybody do what you want to do and how you
so
want to
much
do it.
less stress.
And then
yes.
turning that into love or whatever the situation is, or I don't know.
Well,
what
I
you-
think-
you would translate control over. with, I guess.
Yes. I was trying to control the narrative of situations because I was concerned about what it would look like.
You'd be less disappointed in your life.
That part. Because again, I was loving the potential in something, the potential in a job, the potential in people, the potential in this. Like I was adjusting, I was loving that potential. And then when people showed up who they were, I was disappointed. They was fine.
Right. Because your picture looked like, who's fine? Who's fine?
That's not what you expected.
Yeah. And then I'm mad at them. Like, what you doing? Like, why are you doing that? And then like, I've been this person this whole time.
Like you used to say, people who show up to
they show you they are,
believe
them the first
time.
They are consistent.
Don't wait to believe them a second and third time, and you sitting up there looking like
that's it,
old school boo boo the foo, as they say.
And ask the questions, and you won't be shocked.
Yes.
So you do this all the time.
Yeah.
Questions are very important. I was always good about asking questions. I was always asking people and friends before I even got married, like, what happened? Why'd you get divorced? What was going on? What happened? And even then, I learned, even with asking those questions, it set me up really good because I understood that sometimes, obviously, marriage is split for a plethora of reasons, and different people have, you got one story, she got one story. But even for some of the ones I was talking to, it was like, okay, that person didn't change. You changed. You were tired of the BS that they were given. You let it slide all these years until it got tired. So the person who really changed was you, because you was fed up with all the crap that was going on in your life.
But you know what, though? Here's the thing. Aren't we supposed to change? I hope to God.
Yes.
I am not who I am at 51. Who I was at 24.
Yeah, we ain't the same.
I hope I am not. You are supposed to evolve. You are supposed to change. The key is to finding someone who will love you through that change.
Correct.
And when I say finding someone, that starts with yourself.
That's right. That's right.
That starts with loving yourself through that change. First. And then if anybody else decide to come along, great.
They need to add to you.
Yes.
Not subtract, young ladies. They need to add to you.
Go on.
Listen, that's a whole nother topic. Okay,
we'll get on that later.
Yes.
But loving yourself is important.
It is
I think that's another thing too. Well, even when I was younger, I always said, even when, in relationships or whatever, and we break up, it's your loss. So I've always had a confidence in a sense where I'm like, okay, I'll move on to the next one. You always crack up with me. Even when I was friends with exes, she'd be like, "Why are you still friends?" Because I don't like to hold grudges, and I try to move on. And
I'm a Leo.
And everybody makes mistakes,
and I'm an Aquarius. You're
who? Lady, I'm a Sagittarius.
Who?
Confidence and believing in yourself and asking questions and learning not to control other people for your own benefit or your picture perfect benefit.
Your picture perfect benefit
is important.
Yes.
So,
yeah. So listen, guys, this is the end of our first episode. We are so excited.
I got a little bit left. Somebody empty over here. So
see, I was talking so much. I didn't.
Well, it is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. But listen, check us on the next go round, next episode. We'll have something interesting and fascinating to say. Until that time, be safe. Love each other.
Be blessed.
Love yourself.
Welcome. Join us. Yes.
Get shout. Are you ready to talk?
Oh yeah, I'm ready to talk.
Come on in.
Well, okay. Let's talk.
Just settle down. We're gonna talk with you. Won't talk with you now. Going around.
Let's talk.
Here on the Brownskin Chit Chat. Brownskin Chit
Let's talk.
Show.
Shout.
Hey, hey, hey,
Get it, shout it,